Hello, your friendly neighborhood Dow here today. We have a couple videos on Mod Station. I wanted to do one on Aslains for worship. So if we just gonna search it. Obviously, I already have it, but we'll just act like we don't have it. And then we want to look for download World of Warships. We're on number 1 for the newest patch, 11.10. Windows is always trying to protect us, so I come up with a couple warnings. Which brings us up to this box. So you can pick your language. Hit OK. It's going to do its thing. Please donate if you haven't donated, if you're using Aslains. Or if you use it and you like it. Everybody can use a little help, even $1. If everybody that uses Aslains gave him $1, he'd be doing golden, I'm sure. It will automatically check for update. And then here's your welcome page. It's very important to click show preview window because as we get into looking at all the available mods, which is in a little slightly less visually appealing way as Mod Station, I can understand it. I was certainly overwhelmed the first time I looked at it. Stayed away from Aslains for some period of time, maybe even a year. But there's some visual things that I really liked, and there's some things that they offer that you can't get in Mod Station. But it is okay by Wargaming to use this along with Mod Station. So make sure you click Show Preview Window, hit Next. It's going to give a README. As this goes on, it's going to talk about every little update he does. He'll talk about the different compatibilities. So you can see this was an initial compatibility, and now we're up in here where some things you can get 7, 8, 9 updates as the Wargaming patch goes along, as they're fixing things or trying to do what they're trying to do. Ask you to set it up where your Wargaming folder is. Click that, and then you come to this list. This list, along with the image preview. So I'm going to go through here, talk about some of the stuff that I use, go over some of the other things. There's a lot of stuff that I don't get into. I'm not really big on visuals, but we can talk about what I'm familiar with. I'm not going to go over things I'm not familiar with. So like this first section, ship contour icons, I'm not familiar with this. I've never used any of this, so you need to play with that a little bit on your own. Side panels, lots of different options here. You can see some are compatible. I have used Batis. I like Haka bases because we can choose what items to display. So I like displaying radar and torpedo ranges. There's a lot of ships, and they keep adding a lot of ships with torpedoes. So I like that for easy reference. So you have a bunch of side panel options that give you much more data than the stock ones do. Okay, clan icons, obviously we want NA clan icons. That way you're downloading all that. You can see them on your screens. At the top, I use the Team Horse HP bars. That gives me a total of each team's points, and it will also give a timer to let you know exactly how long before someone wins. It allows much better decision making than guesstimating. Of course, you can guesstimate and be reasonably close, but you don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. So consider this team bar is one of the most popular. Adjustable markers. This is over the ship marker. I like this because it lets me choose how I want it displayed. You can have it names, no names, all the stuff. There's a few different options here. Some of them show rankings. Again, I don't care about that. We get into consumables monitor. This is an absolute must when it comes to clan battle season. If you are a caller, consumable monitor allows you to see your teammates' consumables, when they're going to be ready, how much they have left, all that sort of thing. I don't play with it in randoms. When clan battle season time comes, I will put it back on and just deal with it in randoms. But for a caller, there is so much information that it really is very helpful. Numerical health on hit points on squadrons. Instead of just being a bar, it's an actual number. Numerical remaining battery on submarine, same thing. It's giving me the actual time instead of a percentage. Some numerical capture time on the objectives, so you can see up top how much longer. That's not a big deal for me. Travel time to capture point wasn't a big deal for me. Regen monitor, I use in advance, so this lets you see your allies and what they have going on. So again, very important for a caller. Something I would certainly have if I was a caller. For randoms, I don't use it. Spotted indicator. It's big. It allows you to see your friends and enemies. Obviously, if you can see the enemy, he's spotted or she's spotted. But it allows you to know who's spotted on your allies without asking. Very handy for a caller again. I like it because I can see, okay, I know where my detection is. I'm next to somebody who's detected. I see that they're detected, and now I have an idea. Okay, I'm not detected. And it narrows down where ship locations, unknown ships could be. I find it to be very helpful. Assistant is maximum ship with the speed on the right torpedo. It gives you some more information on the, I find it to be a little busy, but again, if you're looking for more information, it's right there. Turn regen spotted. Advanced depth charge marker shows exactly how far away. Ship movement indicator. A lot of people use this, as you can see. If they're going backwards, it's red. If they're stopped, it's yellow. If they're ahead, it's green. I find it more annoying than anything. I can use torpedoes to see if a ship is moving or not. And I generally have the mini-map pretty big. So I just use that. The next section, we have some available crosshairs. I certainly recommend having in dynamic crosshairs, monogram, classic, and modern. These are very popular, and then I made out one for me that I liked the way I did. Just an all-white bar with a little bit larger numbers. There's a ton of static crosshair options. I'm just going to scroll that up. So in past, you can see here's all your dynamic crosshairs. And you just click on it, see if you like it. If you don't, you take it off. And then you have your static crosshairs. Lots of options. Dynamic crosshairs adjust with distance. So you have an more accurate, if you're using the numbers, more accurate at distance for your battleships and such. Then we come down into various adjustments around that. I use the binocular frame remover. So when I zoom in, I don't have those weird binocular things. You have blur effects, CV, telegraph, which shows you different things. Gun marker shape, so you might want to have something different instead of the standard. Visibility indicator mover. Show max speed of target crosshair. I like that. It's just a reminder for me. Again, there's so many ships. Visible angle of impact enemy. Shows you that. That's something I use. For people who are a little hard of sight, a very helpful thing right there. More visible rangefinder, I use that. It's green. Camera mods, I used to use Yasm's 43% more zoom out. Can almost create the same thing with Wargaming's camera. So I've stopped using all of this, but a lot of different camera options. You have these zooms to where when you use shift to zoom in, you can have greater field of view on your normal camera and then have a higher level of zoom in your binocular view. So there's a lot of ways that you can change your visual experience through these. So if it's something that you're not happy, I used to use, like I said, this right here. Let me see a lot more of the ship and a little more third person, a little higher. And I like that. But I've created the same thing with the new Wargaming camera. And then we got battle interface customization, the different detection icons. I've been using Battle Wave forever. Torpedo warning, slightly different than the stock one. My target lock on is green. It just gives me a little bit better representation on green on the display. So you have a lot of different options. If you don't like what you have, I always thought the Battle Waves, it was very self-explanatory to me how I was being interacted with. And so that's why I started using those. Different ribbons that are available. Minimap mods. If you want to keep the factory one, the Wargaming, you can change the font size, you can bold it. I have used Minimap by AutoSpy forever. I have it very set up. I'll show that at the end of the video with different dots and dashes and all that stuff for the different various ranges. So I've kept that. I know a lot of that functionality is available in the Wargaming map presently, but I really like that. The advanced attention marker, something that's come out recently. When you click on the minimap, it will render out on the actual game map. So that's good. 2D radio positioning finding. It shows where your RPF is on the minimap as well. So lots of good options there that you can play with. Minimap by AutoSpy is one of the most comprehensive. Port mods. Aslains automatically has a version checker. It's fine. It'll pop up if there's a new version available when you go to log in. It's kind of handy. Session stats. I love having session stats. I can see battles, victories, damage caused to ships, average damage caused, how many ships I've destroyed. Nice little things. All ships in tech tree. I like the tech tree to where I have access and I can see all the ships that have ever been in the game. So it's very handy. If you want to go in and preview a ship you don't have, you can do that. It's a lot of nice things with Equipment tab improvement. So this is a lot of just things that you might like to just change it and make it a little bit better. So signal fags with price, if that's something you're into. Equipment tab improvements, I like that. Lets me see it a little bit better. Survey population and resources, I like this. It lets me see what my stuff is and how many players are on the server. Karma info, no, I don't want karma info. Actually, there's a karma mod that I highly recommend for everybody. Crew and training room. So this is particularly helpful for training rooms. You don't have to get all the way out. You can switch your captain while you're in the training room. If you want to know ship win rate and XP next to the ship, I used to use this, and then I found I got very locked into my win rates, so I grabbed back of that. Some carousel extenders and filters. Again, just some added things in here. Auto container, collector, band, just things that you may want like to be switched around. I like the adjustable division chat window, so I can move it around. I can make it different sizes. Permanent camouflage. This was really helpful, and I'll tell you why it was really helpful to my enjoyment of the game. It's not so much the blocking of the overall karma, so you can only see 999. Okay, it's the preventing of the notifications post match, and this is why. Right, we've all been there to where we've just sweated, like placed first or second on a losing team, and you worked so hard, and the team was dumb, and you get reported, and you're literally ready to punch the screen. I am sometimes. Or you're on the winning team and you've done all kind of stuff and this and that and the other thing, and you got reported. Now, obviously, you probably got reported. You know, you were first or second XP-wise, base XP-wise, and, you know, obviously somebody was unhappy with you and you got reported. Okay, and that is super frustrating. So not only does the karma 999 and you don't know, and I'm speaking to somebody who has over 100 karma. So it's not like I'm 0 and I just want to know. No, I've found this to be a really good quality of life thing to where I don't know when I'm getting thumbs up or thumbs down after a match. And combined with not knowing, I've really found this to be beneficial. So, highly recommend that. Again, just some battle type button, it changes colors. Commander perks, I like the more visible train commander perks. You have lots of options there. You can change some more ports, flags. Lots of changes there. On-screen battle displays. I don't use any of this, so there's a lot of changes that can be made to the tracers, and this is really helpful for somebody who's maybe a little visually challenged, just wants to see it, you know, more clearly. There's a lot of options. Basically, everything you're seeing from here to here is adjusting what you visually see, the guns, the shells, and everything on screen. So I'm not using anything. However, if you're looking so you can see it more clearly, the balloons and everything, that's where you're going to see it. Okay. Next, we get into some battle loading screens. If you're looking for that, cruise control, moving GUI elements. So I know that some people, they like things moved around. Again, if you're into all that, you can see all that. So I don't use any of that. You can move the ribbons. Custom radio location marker. I did use a green one for an extended period of time. They don't have any, so nothing should. Oh, there you go. Just instead of just having a white line, it gives you some addedness to it. Okay. Battle Expert is this. I find this to be very helpful. I did not use Navigator. Navigator was when it was up in the center. Now this is down at the bottom left. And I do use this. Why is this helpful? Well, because the game, quite frankly, tricks your eyes when it comes to the angles of your opponent. And given that we have hard angles for bounce checks, it's really nice to know that if you just let him turn or her, let your red turn just a few more seconds and you're going to have no auto bounce check or no angle concerns. The ships show themselves to be a lot flatter than they actually are. That's what I found since I've played this game. So I found this to be helpful. It goes right in the bottom left-hand corner, and you can just reference it totally out of the way. Also tells you your angle to them, so you can mitigate damage as well. Love the smoke indicator. It's just really bright, so it lets me see it right in the middle instead of it being somewhat, it's just kind of blah from the Wargaming one. Okay. Advanced battle loading screen. I really like that because it shows ship positions. So it shows teams line up, but it also shows ship positions. So it really allows for a little consideration beforehand. I like the mouse pointer because it's gold. It contrasts a little different. 3D radio positioning. I like this. It literally gives me a view when I have RPF of, and so instead of just having this little arc, it gives me a little more broader. Okay. Info enemy. This is standard, I believe, for Wargaming now. That can be modified. You can also do that for yourself as a reminder. I don't use that. Secondary armament status. I love this. I love my brawling battleships. And it's a good reminder to let me know where my AA range is and how % of them are alive. Regen assistant just lets me know before I hit that healing button how much healing do I have available and how much of that is I'm using. So it allows you to know exactly what percentage of that heal you're using. I like stopwatch. A lot of people use stopwatch, so you can time. I don't use it. You have a timer on the desk, but you can time radars, you can time hydro, you can time shells, especially for Vermont. I don't use it, but post-battle progress numbers, great. That's very handy. That shows everything that you're doing as far as in the game. You've got a daily missions, a campaign that you're working on. That will keep you updated at the end of the match. So I find that quite helpful. Detailed damage meter. This could be very helpful. I have used this before. I don't use it right now. Letting you know, because sometimes there's a question, holy cack, you just got, cross-mapped. Who the heck shot at you? I don't know who to angle to. And this can give you that information. So that's helpful. I have used it before. Pingometer, again, it's just brightens it up so you can see it. Score timer. Oh, I'm sorry. HP, the bars that I first referred to are literally just the hit points of your team. This score timer actually gives the timers that I was referring to. So back up top when I was talking about HP bars, I'll scroll back up. Here, team HP bars. It is literally this. So it is just giving you this and telling you total. Now, why is that helpful? Well, because you can get to the end of a match and you could have 4 ships and the enemy could have 7 ships. And you could be like, oh my God, we're in a big hole. Well, because of damage received or, a multitude of all of the things that happen during a match, with your 4, you could have a total of, I don't know, let's just say 220,000 hit points available. And the Reds, with their 7, could have 110,000 hit points. So if you know that, and you have that awareness that, hey, combined with the side panels that will show you ship health on an individual basis as far as when they've been in your view range, you can make much better decisions on what needs to be done to win the match. That's what's important about the score timer. Shot timer, I love this. I didn't realize, I've played with this forever, I didn't realize that this was not part of the base game, but it counts down how long until you go undetected. So you're not guessing how long it's been since you fired. Radar timer, same thing. It just lets you know. Why is this handy? Well, if you've learned many of the radar durations, that allows you to understand how much longer before you're going to be undetected. Easily readable team score, that goes without saying. Again, it's just quality of life things. Okay. Improved chat. I really like this one. I highly suggest this one because it actually gives you the ship and then the player and then their stuff. I forget how the Wargaming chat is, but I remember it's very difficult to read. I've been using this mod forever and ever and ever. Okay. Now, commander crew appearance, sound mods, ship skins, and appearance. Okay, I do not use any of this. Clearly, there is a ton of interesting voice mods that maybe I should consider looking at. I know a couple streamers that use some of these. But I don't use any of them at all presently. So, ship skins. There, look. We're here, and this is all skins. So there are so many options on skins, and then we come in here, and there's options to turn all camos white, turn all camos gray, aircraft camouflage remover, historical planes, lots of different little, hey, I want my things to be this way. This whole big long section. From here down to here, it's just changing various aspects of the way this thing visually is done. Text mods, gun caliber in millimeter and inches for those of us in the States is helpful. Map environmental odds. I use this because I do a lot of recording. 2 reasons. I do a lot of recording and it's very annoying. Some of these maps have so much fog and glare that it's just not enjoyable. That's my preference. But I use minimal waves. Just with still waves, not the mirror glass. Fog remover, anti-glare, specifically because I do a lot of recording. You may try that out and find you like it. So that's what I did. Battle replays, you can enable that, remove the limit of max replays, enable version replays folder. I found this very helpful because it automatically creates a new folder every patch. So they're easily deletable and you know what's current. And that makes it real simple. Frames per second limit in battle. I have 120 megahertz monitor, so I limit that to 144. This is super helpful. Frames per second limit in port. I have that at 50, so that keeps the graphics card much cooler in port. It used to work the hardest in port for whatever reason. Somebody explained that to me long ago, and I don't recall. But this is very helpful to keep you limiting your resources and your GPU temperature while you're sitting in port. Matchmaking monitor, a lot of people use that. I don't, because I believe that it just upsets people. Basically the streamers and YouTubers and stuff talk about that basically 75% of the matches are set. You're going to win 35-40%. You're going to lose 35-40%. It's really those 25 matches that we have the ability to have an impact on. And being closed-minded by the skills or previous history of teammates or the opponent going into a battle, I just do not feel like that is conducive to, number one, enjoying the experience, and number two, for actually being fully present with whatever happens during the match. I'm sure that many of you have seen people bitching and moaning and carrying on in chat before the match even starts that, it's going to be a loss and this and that and the other thing. And that's where a lot of that comes from. So I don't use it. If you want the numbers and you want to know, I see the value to it. If you see low quality people on the other side, you want to take advantage of that. So that's the end of that. Again, I don't use that. Hit next. Remove all previous mods from the game. You want to do that. Hit next. Hit install. It does its thing. When it's done its thing, and you're done. Hit finish, and now you just load into the game just like normal, and all your mods will be there. So I'll do a separate video here showing you what some of those things look like, but I wanted to at least go over and explain Aslains. Take a little bit of the fear away from, oh my gosh, it's not nearly as user-friendly looking as ModStation. But it's all in there. It's really good stuff. And I hope you like it. Thank you. Have a great day.